Kristi. I have the honor and the pleasure of leading this amazing organization called Identify. I have some fantastic people who are part of our leadership this year, this 2021 crazy year. And we are trying to get a message out to you guys in a different way. This message is out on our website and has been out on email and social media, but we just wanted to put some names with faces and just kind of share some information. So this is a fun little bunch. We're not going to be super professional. We're just going to bring our personality to this great Zoom session and just show you a little bit of who you get when you work with us. So these guys and girls are going to introduce themselves in just a minute. But before they do that, I'm going to give a quick little overview of why we're doing this. Our main purpose in getting in front of you today is to answer some of the most frequently asked questions that we've been getting over the last several months. Most of these are obviously about COVID, about travel, about limitations, about safety, about health. So we just want you to know that we're taking all of this seriously. We're really thinking through it, and we want to answer some of the major questions. Of course, if there are other questions, you can reach out to us and we'll answer that or answer those. But for now, these are the ones that we think are the most in your head. So just to give you an overview of what Identify's been doing, we, as far as like working in missions, in COVID, in a pandemic, in shutdown and all of that stuff. For us, we've just been really, really diligent and faithful about getting up every day and saying, okay, what do we need to know today? Where do we need to get good information? What do we need to do with that information? Who needs to be involved with hearing that information and making decisions based on that information? So that's kind of been our daily life, well, since March of 2020, and we're still doing that today. We work very closely with some medical professionals, so they kind of bring in that healthcare piece with us. And we pull in our Identify leadership, our advisory team. We pull in our host partners in Guatemala, our team on the ground there, and just kind of gather perspective from everybody's angle, so that, again, we're making wise decisions for everyone involved. As we move forward, we're going to start bringing team members into the mix. So again, we're trying to think through this really well for you guys. So we just want you to know we take everything very seriously. No decision is made lightly. A couple of things, we are following the CDC guidelines and recommendations. So some things are a little different this year. We do, most of our team meetings will be online instead of in person. We do all the things that you've heard about and are probably doing in your own homes and communities. We have obviously social distancing and prevention as far as hand sanitizer and coughing in your arm and all of those things that just make perfect sense. We do like monitoring temperatures and things like that before we get together. If anybody has symptoms, then we separate, and that person has to be clear of symptoms for 10 days. So just all of those usual things that the CDC is recommending, and that's even before travel happens. And then really quickly, one of the questions that I get a lot is, how has this been unfolding in Guatemala? How has this been unfolding in the past? And then also now, what's happening in Guatemala? So just a quick update on that. I've been so proud of this country that I love so much. They really did a fantastic job and continue to do a fantastic job. So from the minute they got their first case, they closed the country down, and they really stayed shut down for about 5 months. So in some ways, they did a little bit of a better job than, as a small country, than some of the larger countries. And they were able to stay ahead, slow the spread, and flatten the curve a little bit better because they had a smaller country to deal with. They are still being stricter than we are here in the US. They have a public mask mandate for everybody, no matter who you are or where you are. They also have they have like temperature checkpoints and health checkpoints in various places through the city. So you might go to the grocery store and have to do like a little health check before you go into the grocery store. you might go to the park and have, go through a little check there. So they have that throughout the city. They have the usual social distancing, limited crowds. Most of their stores are closed fairly early in the evening or the afternoon. So they're doing a really good job of monitoring all this. So anyhow, I just kind of wanted to share that information specifically about Guatemala. Those are the biggest questions I want to answer. And now, so you don't have to look and listen to me the whole time, I want to let all my friends here share. And before they do, I really just want to extend this invitation to anybody who's watching, whether you're a part of the Identify family already, or whether you're a stranger and you're like, why is this link being sent to me? It's gotten to you because this is an invitation for you to join us in the mission field this year. We're doing some really cool things. We have really cool projects. And, just because a pandemic started doesn't mean missions have stopped. So if you're ready, if you're willing, if you're able, then come with us. And this invitation is open to everybody, open to believers and non-believers, open to young people, students, open to older people. So again, if this is your thing, then it's an invitation for you. So, all righty. All my guys and girls have been so good here while I was chatting. So I'm going to start out with Sara. Sara, I'm going to let you introduce yourselves and then yourself, just one of you. And I am going to just ask you a couple questions and let you answer kind of based on your experience recently.
Hey, my name is Sara, and I'll be leading one of the children camps trips down there this summer.
Awesome. Sara, tell me, like airlines and ticket purchasing, what's happening right now with the airlines?
So the airlines have been planning and adjusting and carrying in a lot of different ways over the past year. They're doing a great job with allowing a lot of flexibility and credits as we all work to navigate this pandemic together. They're also doing a great job with taking care of great measures to keep everyone healthy and safe during traveling.
Awesome. Good, good. And then had you already have your ticket booked, Sara?
Yes, I do already have my ticket booked. It was pretty simple. I went through Delta, had some leftover credits from last year when I wasn't able to go, and so I was able to put those to use. I got to read over their different plans they have and the procedures they're taking. So it was really easy to do.
Awesome. And you feel pretty comfortable with that so far?
To go.
Oh, yeah. Awesome. And then Sara, what about, will there be extra steps for our team members to complete this year as they, kind of navigate the travel part of it?
Yes, there are some extra steps for team members this year. So there's some extra COVID prep paperwork that has to be filled out. And then currently both Guatemala and the US require a negative COVID test to enter and leave the country. Identify will help you with that and making sure it goes easy and well. In the US, you can also travel with a proof of recovery within 90 days of traveling. So whether that's a doctor note and a positive test result back, and the doctor saying that you are able to travel.
Okay.
It is possible that these regulations may change between now and the time we fly, but everything is working out well and the processes are becoming more and more streamlined as we get ready.
Awesome. Yeah, and as we said, we're kind of watching this day by day. So every time something changes, we change it, and our processes too. What about, a lot of people ask about the vaccine. What if I've had the vaccine? Do I have to still get a negative test?
So they're still working on that. The airlines haven't said much about it yet, but as the vaccine comes out, more and more people are able to get it. They will hopefully say something more.
So right now, it doesn't matter if you've had the vaccine or not. You still have to prove a negative or a positive test with the doctor's note. Okay, perfect. Thanks, Sara. What are you most excited about this summer?
I'm most excited to get back down there, seeing all my friends that I have down in Guatemala and getting to work with the kids again. I love being down there and working with them.
Awesome. Thank you, Sara. Thank you. All right, Dani, we're going to come over to you. You want to give us a little intro?
Hi, I'm Dani, and I'm going to just be helping out wherever is needed, just kind of assisting maybe in the home or with different teams, maybe back here in the States, so whatever is needed. So I'm pretty excited. I didn't get to go last year, obviously, because things got shut down. So excited to help again.
Yeah. We're so glad to have you with us this year, Dani. So the questions I have for you that you can help us answer. What happens? So let's say somebody signs up, they're all ready. We do all the teamwork here. We do all the meetings. We get everything ready, get on the plane, go down in the middle of Guatemala on day 3. What happens if one of our team members gets symptoms?
Okay. Well, we have some amazing team members and leaders and other staff on site, like myself. And so we will be there to just take, as you know, we want everybody to be safe. So we'll take all the measures possible. If you start to have symptoms, we will quarantine you immediately. If they're mild, if they're more severe, we will quarantine you as well. And we will work with the in-country doctors from the partnering hospitals. And we will also talk with yourself and your emergency contacts, as well as myself or leaders who are there working with you. And we'll all come up with a plan that is best for the situation. And we'll test for COVID and any other issues, any other sicknesses that they think might be an issue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Thankfully, we got really sweet people like you, Dani, to care a lot. You know, if somebody starts feeling a little strange and is worried, you know, so it's not just like we're caring for you physically, but also emotionally and mentally, and just kind of thinking through that if that makes you nervous.
We definitely have people praying for everyone as well, so that's always nice to know.
Yeah, fantastic. And then as far as, when we're there anyhow, and when we're doing our mission work, will we be staying like outside or
You don't have to stay in the woods, so that's good. We do have a mission home. Thanks for asking. We have a mission home there. We have a kitchen so we can prepare meals. And we also, there's bathrooms there. So it'll be nice and cozy. We can all be together for the most part for most of the mission fields. If not, there will be a place provided for you to stay and we'll all be together. So if you do have to quarantine, we'll be able to separate you there as well. So it's pretty exciting to have our own place.
I know. Okay, cool. And a lot of people are asking, so what happens if everything is fine and then 2 days before, you know, I go, I get COVID or I need to cancel? As far as Identify and the mission experience funds that we put into Identify, what happens to those funds if I have to cancel for some reason?
Well, unfortunately, we don't do refunds, but those funds will be used for projects, because that's what our main mission is for, is to go and provide the projects and just to help the people in the community. So we'll use them on your team if you're unable to go, or other teams that are there on projects that are needed. So that is part of it. If the money is raised, that's what it will go to. There won't be a refund.
And I love it. I love that, you know, Identify has kind of thought through that as far as, you know, this crazy year that we're living in, or years that we're living in. You know, part of our goal is to accomplish missions no matter what, whether there's an American involved, a Canadian involved, a Guatemalan involved, like whoever can get the job done, let's get the job done. But that does take resources. So the good thing is nothing that is contributed goes to waste. Everything helps to accomplish the mission no matter what.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's a blessing, because I even said, if I can't go, or if I'm not able to help, the money that we had raised from last year, let's just donate it, because that's more important for them to be able to use it where it's needed, not just for us to be able to travel back and forth, although that is super fun and amazing, and you'll have a great time if you can go. But it is important to be able to help them. That's what we're there for. So.
Exactly. Well, thanks, Dani. Again, we're so glad to have you as a part of the team this year. All right.
Thank you.
Our resident redhead, Miss Holly. So tell us a little bit about just what mission experiences are offered this summer through Identify.
Okay. Hi, everybody. My name is Holly. And part of we've got a bunch of teams going this year. We've got special needs, several children's camps, one of which I'll be leading. And we have several building teams and medical teams. And we also have physical therapy this year.
Awesome. So lots of good things to choose from. Not as many as we normally have, but still a lot of good things to plug into. That's great. Yeah, since I didn't ask you to intro yourself, what do you love most about working in missions and being in Guatemala, Holly?
Oh man, most? I don't know, do I have to narrow it down to like one thing? I just love the people there. I love how close I feel to God when I'm there. You know, when you strip everything away, all the phones and social media and all that, it's just, you're free to just connect on a deeper level, and it's just awesome. And I haven't been in a couple of years, so I miss it terribly. But
so you're one of those, like, nothing is stopping you, not even a pandemic.
No, nothing is stopping me. Not this year. No way. So.
Oh, fantastic. So tell me, Holly, a lot of people, I get a lot of calls about this. They're like, oh my goodness, I Googled flights on the date of the team I was looking for, and the flight is $1,800 or some crazy price like that. Tell me, talk to us about flights. What's happening?
So the same exact thing happened to me, and I almost had a heart attack. And the good news is that Identify is offering a little bit more flexibility with travel dates this year. Let's just say you're set to start your mission on a Saturday and you're going to fly in on Saturday, but the flight is really expensive. You could actually come in on Thursday or Friday. That saves you a large amount of money. And same thing on the back end. If you have to fly out a day later to come back home and save several $100s, that's going to be okay, especially since we have our mission house, right? So it's not like you're kicked out of a hotel and or hostel, you don't know where you're going to go. So that's really cool. You just need to make sure that you coordinate everything with your leaders and make sure that they're aware of what you're doing. So.
And again, I love it that, you know, we've kind of thought through that and just thought, what's the best way that we can handle that? And it's kind of a one size fits all. So if you come in a day early, you stay a day late, you don't have to pay more. You know, if you come in 2 days early and leave on the exact day you're supposed to leave, it just kind of fits everybody this year. So we're willing to kind of absorb those costs of extra airport runs and things like that, just to make sure we get everybody where they want to be for the cheapest price possible. And I'll just add a quick note, like when you are booking a ticket, if you look at flexible dates, you'll see the dates differ so much. So a Tuesday flight may be, I'm just throwing out numbers, $400. A Wednesday flight might be $600. A Saturday flight is $1,800. I mean, it's kind of that crazy right now. The airlines have to adjust through all of this too. So again, we're going to support you in getting that very lowest ticket price possible. And right now there are still really low tickets too. So we can help you figure that out. Perfect. Well, Holly, we're so
like a month early and stay a year longer.
Wait, did I say one price fits all? I'd actually love for you guys to do that. Well, Holly, we're really glad you're coming back this year, and love having you as a team leader always. You always bring a lot of fun and energy to the table.
Well, thank you. I'm excited too.
So next we got Julie. Julie's all the way up in Canada. She's one of a handful of people representing that country with Identify, making us feel very proud to be Canadian sometimes. So Julie, give a quick little intro of yourself.
So as Kristi said, I am Julie. I typically lead building trips. They tend to be my favorite. I like the hard labor, and I like seeing the finished product at the end. I think so this year, actually, kind of like Holly, I haven't been in a few years, and I was really looking forward to coming down this year. But Canada is still kind of in a lockdown. So if you leave the country, you have to quarantine for 14 days. And if you come back into the country, even with a negative COVID test, you have to self-isolate or quarantine for 14 days. And they've actually gone to the to the extent of is if you fly into Canada, you actually have to stay in a hotel and be monitored for 14 days. So unfortunately, I can't travel this year, but I will be here with Identify throughout all the teams, all the meetings that Kristi needs an extra hand with. And if you ever have any questions, you can always either text me or call me or WhatsApp me, whichever works for you guys.
So Julie, what does someone do if, they're just on the fence? They're like, I want to go, I don't want to go. I want to go, I'm worried, I'm excited, I'm fearful. What should for them?
So this is actually a question I think a lot of people have, and it's a normal question to have, especially right now during a pandemic. You need to be comfortable with going, and to me, you need to ask yourself why you're going in the first place. And if you keep asking yourself why you're going, and they are, I want to give back, I want the great experience, but there's still this quiet voice in your head going, well, what if people don't like me, that kind of thing, then I think you should go ahead and go. But if you are feeling very nervous or very uncomfortable, then give it some time. There's always trips, there's always next year, and there's always other ways that you can assist with projects from afar.
I love the way that you answer that, Julie, because it's not just a mental decision you're making. It's a spiritual, faith-based, like emotional, much deeper decision. Yeah.
It is a big decision. You're putting a lot of yourself out there, and you're putting yourself in a very vulnerable position. And from my experience as someone who's gone on trips and just been a member and then gone on trips and been a leader, you are putting yourself in a very vulnerable position to be open to growth and to others, and also finding out a lot more about yourself than you already know.
Yeah. And like you said, this isn't just a question for a pandemic. This is a question every team member considers before they ever say yes. So that was a great point. Yeah. And then, so like you, Julie, you want to be involved. You want to be down in Guatemala. You want to do something, but you can't because, there are so many limitations on your travel. So what would you suggest to somebody that's kind of in the same boat as you? What are some ideas for them?
So one of the things Identify is doing this year, and I think it's actually a really great idea, is these virtual missions. And so what you can do is with a group of friends that you have by social media, a group of friends that you work with, or even like in my son's case, our neighbors, you can work together and gather funds and support a Pacific mission project. And then it becomes like a virtual mission. So you're getting to kind of peek in and seeing the changes and the growth that is happening there in Guatemala, and you get to see it from a different point of view. I think one of my favorite parts about building is after I've left, getting to see the continuation of the project. When you look at playgrounds or gardens, you get to plant the seed, but you don't get to see the plant grow while you're there. It's a few weeks later, a few months later, a few years later, when you still see kids playing on that playground. You see the lime tree producing limes. I think that's where it makes everything come together. And you don't have to be down there for that to happen. You can be there from afar and just plant the seed.
Great answers, Julie. Yeah, great wisdom. Thank you so much for that. So maybe we can get you down there 2022. That's our hope.
I really hope 2022. I really wanted to spend my 40th birthday down there.
We're going to make it happen somehow. Thank you, Julie. Last but not least, our male representative here identifies always a little more girl heavy than guy, but it's all right. The guys bring the little extra something that we don't have or aren't contributing. So Jonathan, that's you tonight. Let's give a little intro and just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure. Yeah. So hi, my name is Jonathan, and I will be assisting one of the children's camps this year. I'm very excited to be back. I was supposed to go last year, but of course, and like many other people here were supposed to, but of course that didn't work out. And so it's been a good few years since I've been, and I'm really excited to be back on the team.
Oh, Jonathan, we're so happy to have you back too. You bring such a fun little spin to our teams and to our projects. So we're super thrilled to have you. Jonathan, we're almost done. We're going to wrap up our little session here, so you get to end us really well. Normally, we're building our teams and we're all busy getting to know each other and doing our team building and learning and growing way back like in October, the year before we travel. And here it is March, heading into April. So it's really just a couple of months of travel. What do we need to do? Like, what's happening right now? What are the next steps? What do we need to do if we want to participate?
Sure. So if you feel called that you want to participate in a mission this year and want to be on the field, we would call you to go to the mission site, which is identifythemission.org/mission experiences. And that's where you'll find the list of different projects that are going on this year. And you can choose which one interests you the most or you feel called to. And that's where you'll complete your application. Once you've done that, your team leader will then contact you and give you more information and specifically about team meetings, which will start in mid-April and last about a time period of 6 weeks on Zoom.
Okay, good. And again, that's different because normally we meet like once a month, we meet in person. So that's going to look different for us this year. You live in the world of Zoom, Jonathan. How will those meetings, will they be okay, even though they're going to be on Zoom?
I think so. Yeah. Yeah, it can be a challenge sometimes, but I think we'll still be able to get the information that we need to get and still be able to create those relationships within the team that need to be cultivated.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, great. So yeah, that's the information we wanted to get out to you guys tonight. What do you think, you guys that are on this call right now? What can you just add as far as like an invitation, as far as encouragement, just in these last few minutes that we are on this call?
Well, I think it's also important that we tell everybody that the deadline for signing up is going to be on April 1st, which is not a joke. That's true. It will actually be on April 1st.
I think that's awesome. And, just if you are thinking about going or you have a family member that's interested, I will probably be participating by myself this year just because of some family dynamics and everything else, COVID and work and everything going on. But myself and my husband went with my 2 boys one year. So it is an amazing experience, a bonding experience for families. And my youngest son, actually, we got to have a birthday there one year for him. And that was awesome. They made a cake for him and all the kids, he got to share it with his little group that him and my husband were leading. So it's awesome. So if you're, thinking, oh, what about the whole family? If you guys can, raise the funds and just, trust God for that, it's definitely an amazing experience. So I highly encourage it.
Yeah, for sure. So what I heard you saying is if it's your birthday, it's time to sign up. If you will celebrate a birthday in Guatemala, you need to come. That's God's message to you.
I think for people, I think also for people to be open to different fundraising ideas, from recyclables to, especially if your kids are going, it may sound strange, but I think it's good for them to earn it. It's good for them to earn it to be able to go. It's them sewing into their trip, and I think it's a great way for young people to start building responsibility. And so they own it a little bit more. And that seed, I think that is planted a bit deeper in themselves.
I totally agree with that, Julie. And one year, well, a couple of years actually, we did, we painted mailboxes in our neighborhood because everybody's got a black mailbox around here and they fade every year. So they constantly need upkeep. And so we went around and painted mailboxes and raised a lot of money. I mean, we raised all of it one year for, I think, 3 of us to go. So yeah, because I feel the same way. Earning it is the good thing. And
It
it
is a
just
good
teaches
thing.
you to trust God too. And like there were people that would drive by and ask us why we were doing it. And we told them and they were like, here's $50 and you don't have my mailbox. Like,
Yeah.
so, I mean, you just trust God and he does really amazing things. So don't be afraid of that not coming through because it always
Mm-hmm.
It does come through.
feel like you need
I
to
think
go.
when you're faithful with a little, you receive a lot.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And I think too, we should all be prepared. I mean, we are as mission leaders and part of this little mission family. You should be prepared for people to have a conversation with you saying, are you crazy? What are you thinking? Why are you traveling this year? What has gotten into you? And that's okay. Like that's normal. And that conversation is a good conversation to have. There may be things that you need to make sure of or think about in that conversation, or you might be an encouragement of faith or an example to somebody else because you're willing to, continue acting and being bold, even in a global pandemic. So again, we just, we want you to know we got you on the mission side of it. And we are really, really doing our very best to be wise and professional and for you the entire time. Like I said, if you've already had COVID, if you've got the vaccine, if God is just calling you, whatever your reason to say yes is, like you are welcome. Come with us and let's do amazing things. And if you're not quite ready to move, I'll just follow up with, what Julie said, then participate with us from afar. We have some really, really, really cool projects, but not just cool projects, like they're really important. And normally our funding for these projects comes in through our team members, but with less team members, we have to go out and seek funding for our projects. So we have feeding centers, we have building projects, we have all kinds of things that need someone from afar to care for them and love them. So either way, you've got a place with Identify. We're going to sign off. So we just really, again, want to thank you guys for watching and being part of this. Feel free to share this link and pass it around to whoever needs to see it or whoever you want to, whoever you want to know about it. And then let us know if you've got questions, reach out to any of us or through the website or through any Identify family you might know, and you can find us and get to us. So yeah, thanks for being with us tonight. All right, bye.